Welcome again to Joe Stunner Boxing. You know, sometimes you can be right. You can have predicted a right outcome, a correct outcome. And yet at the same time, it's almost a hollow victory because you were so wrong about how you got to that result, if you know what I mean. Now, such was the case with Devin Haney completely dominating Regis Prograis on all three cards, 120 to 107. That includes a knockdown in the third round. Very good knockdown, right cross it was, that put Prograis on the floor. This was such an incredibly dominant performance. Like a lot of people, I predicted that Haney would win on points. Did I think he would completely and utterly dominate Prograis? No, I didn't, and I don't think many people did. There was one guy in one of the comments, he left a comment on my preview video, and he said, I think that Haney at 140, that extra £5 will give him a huge amount of energy, and it will mean that he takes a punch better, he hits harder, he's just fresher, more energy, and it will be death by 1,000 cuts. He said, don't be surprised if Haney stops Prograis. Well, he didn't. He didn't stop him because Prograis hung on till the end very, very gallantly. But yes, the rest of that prediction was pretty much right. He was probably, in a sense, more right than I was, even though I predicted a points win for Haney. You see, this is what I'm getting at. It's this strange sort of, the strange conundrum when you sort of dissect your prediction. But it was kind of death by 1,000 cuts because Prograis landed a total of 36 punches in, 36 minutes of fighting. I mean, what's that, a punch a minute roughly? Haney landed, I think, 129 or something, and threw about 800. And Prograis constantly feinting, constantly trying to get close, failing at every avenue. Haney able to completely control the range, was banging in the jab, firing the right cross and the straight right. Prograis is a southpaw, I should point that out. So the right hand from the orthodox Haney was the punch that you would expect. That's traditionally been the punch that deals with southpaws, that inflicts, a lot of the damage. And Haney was really quite masterful. And it was his footwork as much as his fists, the precision of his fists. It was his precise footwork that won him this fight. But totally controlled the range on the occasions when Prograis kind of tried to bum rush him. He just skipped out of or manoeuvred himself out of trouble. Probably Prograis should have thrown caution to the wind and just started slinging punches and risking getting knocked out to try and rough up Haney. But Haney just didn't let him get close. He looked so much bigger than Prograis, even though he was moving up from 135. I mean, it was quite a shocking sort of image, of this much bigger man who was actually supposedly the smaller man, wide in the back, huge frame. I mean, this guy, he won't be at 140 for long. He'll go up to 147. And in fact, post-fight, they were talking about that. They were saying, his team, we'll stop off here for a while. I've got that WBC belt off Prograis, but now I'm going to, eventually I'm going to move up to 147. And he'll be a threat because he'll probably be even bigger and stronger up there as well. And this is Haney coming into his physical prime and becoming what is his optimum weight, as opposed to boiling himself down terribly to 135. There isn't really much else to say because the rounds were very repetitive. You had this constant control, jab, flow of punches, a lot of precision. Again, Haney doesn't appear to have a great deal of power, but he's not the type of guy who'll try and get you out of there with one punch. He's quite content to let the punches flow, he knows he's got 36 minutes to get his work done, and he will use every second. And Prograis, even though, good fighter Prograis, terrific champion, but completely the wrong style Haney is for someone like Prograis, who's flat-footed, doesn't have the speed. I mean, I was thinking during the fight, jab more, try and yes, you can. If you're facing someone with speed, it's a difficult proposition, but you can time. If you get the timing right, you can negate the speed somewhat. And as the old saying goes, jab with a jabber. But Prograis he looks so small in there. he looked so out of ideas. It was almost like a professional, even with an amateur. And I hate saying that because I like Prograis a lot. But Haney it was such a perfect performance, such a punch-perfect performance that at 140, I mean, I can see him beating Tio, I can see him beating Tank. I know they're not Prograis, they're different propositions, styles make fights and so on and so forth. But make no mistake about it, Haney is a threat. And if he goes looking for other belts and unifying and maybe even becoming undisputed, don't be that surprised. Because this kid, he's 25 now? I think Prograis is 34. He said afterwards, Prograis did, I want to go for a third world title. Okay, fair enough. But I think he has definitely slipped Regis Prograis over the last couple of fights. Even his title winning effort, he showed some vulnerabilities there. He showed a little bit of like he was missing a step. And this 12 rounds, which was a hellacious beating, a water on rock erosion, this will take a lot out of Prograis. Whether he can come back again or not for a third world title, I don't know. Maybe he'll move up to 147, but nah, he's too small. He's got to stay at 140. As for Haney, onwards and upwards, more belts, more world titles. We could have a kid on our hands now who goes on to be one of the greats. Don't be too surprised. Anyway, what did you think of the fight? Leave your comments below. As always, I will read them and answer them. And please, subscribe to the channel if you're new and hit the like button. I do appreciate your time. And let's build the channel up. So yeah, I'm looking forward to reading your comments and I will catch you later. This was a good one. What a performance by Haney. Brilliant. Bye for now.